Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. Let's do some content on finishing Invisalign cases when you're struggling with unbalanced contacts and POBs. Sometimes we get to the point where the teeth look straight, we just don't have really good balanced contacts, and that's the only issue. Go through your whole debond workflow. If you don't know what the debond workflow is, I have content on this. I also have an org chart or a roadmap, which is basically like step-by-step instructions. First do this, check this, if this, then that, which takes you through the finishing process. This is free for anyone that works with me on a case. If you've done an a la carte case, if you've done a concierge month, if you've purchased a course directly from me, you get access to free documents. If you want to know how to get documents, how to buy them, how to get them free, go to my channel or my website, Straightsmile Solutions, and you can go to the documents section. Anyways, I digress. Let's get back to finishing Invisalign cases. So a lot of times like that becomes the struggle. Like, I just can't finish it. I just can't finish it. And again, what do you mean by finishing? Go through the debond workflow, see where you're stuck. There's an order that you need to finish things in, and you're probably just doing it in the wrong order. So if you got everything straight, if you are happy with the alignment, I'm not saying that these photos are good examples of everything straight because they're not. But if you are happy with the alignment, upper and lower, and there are no open contacts, and you're happy with the AP position, and you're happy with the vertical position, and you're happy with the transverse position, aka you fixed the bite, you made the teeth straight, you're just not happy with the finish. It's just minor stuff. Yeah, finishing is the hardest part of orthodontics. We call this phase 3 of orthodontics. That's why we had bends to begin with. This is where orthodontists did their magic. We could take any case and get it to finish. But guess what? In clear aligners, it's a little bit different. And even in braces, by the way, you don't need to do any of that. But in clear aligners, it gets a little more frustrating. People just do refinement after refinement, and they don't realize there's a few small things that you can do to make this go faster, more predictably, and to get a better outcome. So like I said, go through the debond workflow, go through the steps. For me, it comes down to this. If I have one arch that's good, and one arch that's not, and I'm happy with the AP on the one arch, maybe I won't do a refinement on the one arch. Maybe I'll just do a single arch refinement. Sometimes that makes it better. The patient doesn't get as burnt out. It allows gravity to let it settle. Do I put it in an Essex and trap it? No. There's no Essex. So let me go over what the opposite arch. We're not done. We're just temporarily not doing treatment on one arch and allowing it to settle. So you can do single arch refinements, like I said. So let's say for this example, where if you're not listening to this on audio only, if you actually could see the static image, the stock image that's on it, you can see there are some posterior contacts on the 7s as well as anterior contacts, but nothing on the 6, 5, 4, 3. This is pretty common. This is just, so if it was only anterior contacts and there was absolutely no posterior contacts, then that would be a different workflow than if there was anterior and posterior contacts. See what I mean? So you have to kind of look at where your contacts are. So for something where you have anterior and posterior, I know that I have to look at the crowding, right? So if there's crowding in an arch, anytime you have crowding, it's going to move more forward unless you add IPR. If there's spacing, it's going to move more back. So I don't like to do this full decision until I get the alignment at least straight. So in this situation where you've still got crowding, this got to move more forward, right? We got to settle this section. I might consider, maybe we'll do upper and lower. Maybe we'll just do lower to jump the bite and then do the upper. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. So let me give a different scenario that might make more sense. Let's say upper arch is straight, okay? So look at this photo, but these are all straight. Different scenario, right? We're done with the upper arch except for we don't have good contacts. Let's say lower arch is straight or isn't. Maybe what you want to do in this case is you want to consider doing what I call a bonded retainer on top, or a sloppy bonded. A sloppy bonded is one that you just do in office. You don't have to pay for it. You can do an actual bonded and pay for it to have it done, but then you might as well leave it on forever. If you're going to spend money on a really good one, right? A couple $100 and like an hour to put it on, I better stay on for a long time. Whereas if I just get a nice braided wire, use the little floss technique to hold it, I can get it pretty good on there. And then that will allow these teeth to free settle in the back. But if you have contacts on these teeth, yeah, that's fine. You can do that in this case. But what if you wanted to try something like posterior settling, but you wanted to use like a mini deprogrammer or a Coist deprogrammer? Yeah, you could do something like that, where you're doing some type of splint or something to keep the front teeth straight, something to improve CRCO shifts, and then you can work on the bottom. So that's another option. So I love the idea of doing a floppy bonded retainer. You can do that in situations where you want to ensure the front teeth stay straight if you think that they might relapse, or if you don't think they're going to relapse, or if it's not a big deal, if you might finish some things later, or if it's a phase 1, phase 2 transition, maybe you're just going to do nothing and just let it free roam, free settle, right? So sloppy bonded, free settle, or a mini deprogrammer aligner, which is like an aligner that just goes like 3 to 3 and has a ton of attachments on the front and back, so it can't come out easily, so it really stays in there because we don't want anyone choking on it, you know. And you're just doing a mini deprogrammer, and you can still get maybe a little alignment. You're not going to get a lot if it's just mini, to be honest. It's going to be very minor, and don't expect extrusions or anything like that because you don't have the counter moment on the back teeth to be able to handle any major movements. But you know, whether you do mini aligners, deprogrammers, sloppy bonded retainers, or do nothing, sometimes just doing one arch to finish up is way better, and it just makes things better for the patient. All right, thanks.